Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood next to someone at the grocery store, maybe in the cereal aisle, and thought, this guy might be a millionaire? No? Exactly. That never happens. But you see, that's the whole point. The quiet millionaires, the ones who don't flex on IG, who don't scream I'm rich through overpriced designer logos. Trust me, they're out there. Right now, you could be standing in line behind one at Starbucks while they order a black coffee with zero fancy toppings. Because the fact is, wealth whispers while broke people shout. What I'm about to share with you are 12 low-key ways to spot a quiet millionaire. The kind of wealthy person who doesn't need validation but is still out here silently collecting assets like Thanos collecting infinity stones. And trust me, once you learn these signs, honestly, you'll start noticing them everywhere you go. So without wasting any time, let's dive in. Number 12. They're understated but sharp. You ever notice how real wealth doesn't come dressed in neon lights? Quiet millionaires blend in. They wear high-quality, well-fitted clothes, but with zero logos. They aren't out here rocking a Gucci belt the size of a WWE championship. It's subtle confidence. Their outfit says, I know I'm rich and I don't need to prove it. They might wear a $500 plain white t-shirt that looks suspiciously like a $10 one from Target, but the fit and fabric scream quality. And their shoes, never beat up, never flashy, just clean, classic, and built to last. If they look effortlessly put together, like they don't even try, but still somehow win at life, they might just be wealthy. This is the first point I want you to take from this video. But let's go even deeper. Number 11, they pay with a simple, sleek credit card. Simply put, this means no bedazzled rainbow-colored credit cards with dragons on them. Just a simple, heavy, matte black card. And when they drop it on the counter, it makes a sound like it was forged in the fires of Mount Doom. No declined beeps, no hesitation, just effortless wealth. But the real secret isn't just what's in their wallet, it's how they spend their time. Let me show you the difference. Number 10, they buy experiences over flashy stuff. Let me give you the mistake I used to make, and then I'll give you the solution. The loud millionaire buys a Lamborghini to impress strangers. The quiet millionaire, they're out here dropping $10,000 on a life-changing travel experience, one that doesn't make it to Instagram. Their money goes into things that actually add value, first-class flights to unique locations without flexing on social media, exclusive networking events where money meets power, buying back their time instead of wasting it chasing clout. They aren't rich for show, they're rich for themselves. So if they don't flaunt their money, where do they really put it? Number 9, they own assets, not liabilities. If you've been following me for a while, you already know how much I love assets over liabilities. And for those that haven't already watched our Financial Freedom series, I want you to listen to me closely. Here's what a quiet millionaire doesn't do. They don't lease a car they can't afford, finance a Rolex, or live in a McMansion that owns them. Instead, their wealth is hidden in stocks, rental properties, and businesses that print money while they sleep. If someone casually drops a line like, yeah, I picked up another duplex last month, my dividends covered that vacation, they're probably wealthy because normal people don't say stuff like that. But wait, if they're rich, why don't they act like it? Number 8, they drive a reliable car that's paid off. Watch this. If someone pulls up in a 10-year-old Toyota Camry but looks suspiciously unbothered by gas prices, that's a quiet millionaire move. They don't need a Rolls-Royce to feel rich. They'd rather drive something reliable and put their money to work in investments instead. And speaking of putting money to work, number 7, they never talk about money, but they always control it. Ever notice that the broke people are the ones constantly talking about money, complaining about bills, flexing their new expensive thing, making sure you know they spent $300 on a steak they didn't even enjoy? A quiet millionaire? They'll change the subject. They don't need to flex. Their wealth speaks for itself. But while they don't talk about money, they sure know how to use it. Number 6, they have multiple income streams. Look, if someone casually mentions that they have a side business, dividend stocks, rental properties, or royalties from an ebook they wrote 5 years ago, they're not normal. That's quiet millionaire behavior. And I know that many of you have asked me to talk about it, which is why very soon there will be an entire video dedicated to multiple income streams and how to profit from passive income. Just make sure to subscribe to the channel. Number 5, they value time more than money. Keep in mind what I'm about to tell you. Millionaires are always optimizing for time. They outsource things that don't serve them. Whether it's grocery delivery, hiring a cleaner, or using automation to make their business run without them. They know that money can always be made, but time is priceless. And speaking of time, let's talk about their social circle. Number 4, they surround themselves with winners. If their friend group looks like a secret society of success, chances are they are one of them. And please listen to me carefully because I want to give you a golden piece of advice. Wealthy people understand proximity is power. If you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around 5 millionaires, well, you know the rest. A sad reality in today's society is this. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. And I've said this more times than I can count, but I'll say it again. Your network is your net worth. So bottom line, connections are everything. Choose your friends wisely. Number 3, they have a long-term mindset. Quiet millionaires aren't thinking about next Friday. They're playing chess, not checkers. And this is what I'll explain to you, so listen closely. Their investments, long-term, their business moves, strategic. If they talk about where they'll be in 10 years, not just tomorrow, they're thinking on another level. Now keep watching because I'm about to reveal one of the most unexpected traits of silent millionaires that is always understated, but true in so many ways. Number 2, they understand leverage and compound interest. This one's got to be my favorite. It's almost like they know how to make their money work overtime without all the complaining. You see, here's the biggest difference between a quiet millionaire and everyone else. They don't just make money, they make money work for them. Think about it. Most people work for money. They trade hours for paychecks, spend what they make, and repeat the cycle until they either retire or burn out trying. But the quiet millionaire, they know that money is a tool, not a trophy. And 2 of their favorite tools, leverage and compound interest. Now, I know this might sound confusing, but it's actually not that hard to understand. Let's break it down. Leverage, the secret weapon of millionaires. Ever heard someone say, it takes money to make money? Well, guess what? That's only half the story. What they should be saying is, it takes other people's money to make money. That's the definition of leverage. Basically using banks, investors, or strategic debt to build wealth without touching their own cash. When they buy real estate, they don't pay for it in full. They use a mortgage to control a big asset with a small down payment. When they start a business, they might use business credit, investor funding, or even revenue from their first product to scale fast without using their own savings. When they invest, they reinvest profits instead of cashing out, letting their money multiply on its own. Meanwhile, the average person avoids debt like it's a contagious disease. They fear credit cards, think all loans are bad, and never learn how to use other people's money to grow their own. Quiet millionaires aren't scared of debt. They're scared of not knowing how to use it. Now that we've covered leverage, let's get back to the most important part of the segment. Compound interest, the snowball effect of wealth. Here, let's talk about the best-kept secret in finance, compound interest. Trust me, I get it. I know it's boring to talk about, but it's insanely powerful in action. Now, here's a quote that I love. Albert Einstein calls it the 8th wonder of the world. Before that, he allegedly called it the most powerful force in the universe, and broke people ignore it completely. So what is compound interest? It's your money making money, and then that new money making even more money. Over time, this creates a snowball effect that turns small investments into massive wealth. And don't worry, I'll show you exactly how compound interest works with real examples, so bear with me. Let's say you invest $500 a month into an index fund with an average 10% return, which is what the stock market has averaged for decades. After 10 years, you'll have $103,000. After 20 years, you'll have $400,000. After 30 years, you'll have $1.1 million. That's $500 a month, less than what most people blow on coffee, subscriptions, and eating out. But here's the real kicker. Over those 30 years, you only invested $180,000 of your own money. The rest? That's compound interest working its magic. Millionaires know this game. They start early, they invest consistently, and they let time do the heavy lifting. Now that we've covered the powerful benefits of compound interest and leverage, I think at this point, I need to tell you the real difference between quiet millionaires and your average Joe. But let's get one thing straight. There is a huge misconception that I need you to understand. Quiet millionaires are not cheap, boring, or living off instant ramen in a basement. That's just a broke person's fantasy about wealth. The myth: if you're rich, you should show it off. This is probably the biggest lie social media ever sold you. The loudest people with rented Lambos, they're flexing for Instagram clout, not wealth. Real millionaires, they're busy investing, building assets, and get this, actually keeping their money. Think of it like this: broke guy drops $5,000 on a Gucci belt to impress strangers. Quiet millionaire drops $5,000 on index funds and lets compound interest do the flexing for them. And let's not forget, the real flex is financial security. There's nothing cooler than waking up and realizing you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Try slapping a price tag on that. The truth: millionaires play the long game. The guy in the old Toyota Corolla, he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Instead of trying to look rich, he's stacking cash, investing in real estate, and making business moves you wouldn't even notice. The whole point of being quietly wealthy is that nobody realizes how much money you actually have. Here's a little secret: the average millionaire isn't some hedge fund CEO. It's the guy who's been buying rental properties, maxing out his 401k, and reinvesting profits for 20 years. He's not in a penthouse throwing money off a balcony. He's at Home Depot buying materials for his third rental property. So next time you see someone rocking a Patagonia vest, driving a 2012 Camry, and drinking a plain black coffee, don't underestimate them. Because while you're out here trying to look like a millionaire, they're actually becoming one. Number 1, they stay humble, but not small. Look, just know that quiet millionaires aren't out here screaming, "I'm rich," but they aren't shrinking themselves either. They move with quiet confidence. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. Now, these were the 12 low-key and subtle ways to spot a quiet millionaire. But to be honest, there's actually something more important you need to be able to recognize, and that's the exact signs of quiet luxury only the rich can notice. We've created an entire video breaking it down. Just click the video on the screen, and we'll see you there.